Welcome to Eat Your Backyard, my YouTube channel, where I help you create your fruit forest. In today's video, we're going to plant chocolate pudding fruit tree cuttings to grow in the What You Got Growing On Eat Your Backyard series. So as not to overcomplicate this whole thing, we just bought a pair of scissors. We're going to take a few cuttings, but the thing is I wanted to be rather delicate in the cutting. Here's my chocolate pudding tree. By the way, chocolate pudding tree is an interesting and novel tree for your yard. Very easy to grow. And holy moly, I didn't actually realize this. I thought they were all gone. A chocolate pudding fruit. Lo and behold. That is so cool. Yeah, so that's what a chocolate pudding fruit looks like. You see it's about the size of an apple. Right. This one's not ripe, but they get ripe and then the flesh inside becomes black like chocolate and has a taste that's something like chocolate. So I think it's something like chocolate married with an avocado, if you ask me. But hey, there might be other little chocolate pudding fruit hidden up in there, as far as I know. But today I just want to do an experiment. I've never tried to do this, and I'll see how challenging it is. I'm going to give myself 5 chances to win, meaning I want to plant 5 cuttings because I don't know what their success rate is, and it might take many more than that to get to where I have a plant that's grown successfully from cuttings. I have tried to grow them from seeds and had success, but today we're going to grow them from cuttings. Okay, let's see. So this is a good place to get a cutting from. You can see it's crowded under here, very crowded. So I'm going to try not to cut one that has a fruit on it, and you'll be able to see the fruit quite distinctly if they're there, and this one doesn't. And I'm going to cut it down low enough that I'm actually going to take it on its green growth, which is questionable, but I'll do a couple like that and a couple with the woody because I just don't know the best way to do it. So there's one. I think I'll leave that one just because you don't want to leave holes in your tree, right? But where you have limbs that are overlapping each other or clearly too long or things like that, these are great candidates. All right, let's see. I think I'll cut this one right about, let's not be stingy, right about there. Okay. So that's 2 cuttings. I see some more opportunities up in here. Alright, that'll be one. And I think I'll grab this one, which is the big center one, and that has a couple on it. So I'll be able to get more than 1 or 2 out of that. So there we have it. A nice collection of cuttings. Now we need to prepare the cuttings. I'm going to actually put them in water now in the intermediary. I look at the cutting itself. It's very interesting. It's almost like a hollow kind of look to the branch. This one not so much. But I always like to observe the structure of these things, but you see that dark brown color in the inside of it. It's very interesting. The fruit actually, it oxidizes like an apple when it hits the air, which is interesting. It's a somewhat astringent fruit, I would claim, but you can correct me in the comments. Sometimes it's good to plant like this, you know, all these different bud pieces and so on, and you just plant this whole thing under. I think I'll do that as well. I'm going to jam a bunch of cuttings in together so to see if I have success. There's no harm in doing that, right? I can always get rid of the others if they all grow, but I just don't know that's going to happen. I think it's best in this case to get rid of most of the leaves. That's what I'm going to do in this experiment. Some of this stuff, I'm looking for anything that's like brand new, you know, super soft growth. This is getting in that area. I might trim that away and not kind of deal with it much. So we'll do that in the next step. Next thing I want to do is just get some of these big leaves off the cutting because there's no way. So pretty easy to do that. Again, this is just a scissor job. Make cuts that are as least traumatic to the cutting as possible. I'm going to do this one without the end on it, so start a leaf pile over here. Now's a good time to get them in water though, you know, because I'm making a lot of cuts on these plants. And I actually filled up a little cup, tall enough, with some water. And I will just stick those cuttings in that cup as I go. Okay, here we are. This is the first one. Stick it in that cup. Got our scraps over here. Anyhow, I think I'm just going to pop them off. Taking the slow boat to China lost its appeal. I'm going to leave this one with a few of its leaves on the end, and it's fairly firm growth on the end. That's why I am. If it's like already droopy, it's, you know, that really diminishes my faith in its capabilities. Like this one, clearly these are much more green, and I think unlikely to survive. I can't just break those off with my finger, so I think I'll do that. Probably do that, and I'll do that. Alright, so let's see what we're left with. There we are. That's not a bad one. Well, I don't know if I have more cuttings than I need, but looks like I wound up with 4. This one is a nice one. This one I have the highest confidence in. Those leaves just break off very easily. And the reason I do this is I just have a strong hunch they're going to die off anyway. And yeah, this one gets all bendy right there, so I'm going to go ahead and snip it. And that'll be one of my leafless cuttings. Okay, so now we have the cuttings. Simple job. Don't have to sweat them drying out. Okay, now that I've got the cuttings prepared, and I've tried to keep them hydrated, so to speak. As you can see, where I've made cuts on both ends, I put both ends into the water. I just think that's an important step to do when you're taking cuttings, is to keep them in the water if you want high success. Now this one's awkward because it's so many branches, but it really gives you that many opportunities to succeed. And in fact, just to make it easier to plant, I'm going to chop one right about here. Took this one, so now it's just a 3 branch. And this cutting, going to take off that lower, and there you have it. I'm going to try that. So I've tried a bunch of different things with this, and my hope is that one of them will work, maybe more. Okay, so I've got these 6-inch pots which I bought for the What You Got Growing On Challenge. By the way, subscribe, check out that series, and you'll be able to follow the growth of these cuttings. So the chocolate pudding tree, let's plant them. So all I'm going to do is basically push them down in the dirt so that they are about halfway to the bottom. These longer cuttings, same idea, maybe a little deeper just to give them a little bit more stability. And I'm just poking them intermittently into the soil as it begins to rain. And always nice to be doing this kind of work as it begins to rain, because you know they're going to get watered. Right, that's why I like to do these kinds of videos during these kinds of conditions. All right, there you go. Okay, so there you have it. Planted, and a few things taken into consideration as I planted these. How many cuttings did we end up here with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, this is all one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 cuttings as predicted. All right, the next thing I'll do is, and this is the nice thing about bringing a cup of water, is you don't forget to water them. Just lightly water it in. Now I'll give you a little hack since you stayed this long in the video. I also added a couple handfuls of cow manure and compost. And that's more than enough water, I believe, to go all the way through. And as you can see, it's dripping through, so that's excellent. Now, I'm going to give these cuttings as long as they need to grow, but I will be monitoring them closely as I conduct the Eat Your Backyard What You Got Grown On series, which I hope you will subscribe and follow along. I plant all the things I talk about in my videos over the years and show you how easy it is to grow them. So you can follow every step of the way, other than, you know, I plant them, I get them ready. Sometimes I eat them, then I plant them, then I track them. But I have this grow table that I've constructed where all of these things are growing. And you can see the various things I've grown: mulberries and mangoes and starfruit and figs and crotons and all kinds of sort of things. And today we're going to add this one into the mix. Oh, we got some Suriname cherries there still uneaten. I'll have to take care of those. Some lemons we just harvested, and a bizarre malformed starfruit. What happened? What happened? I don't know. Okay, I think I'll put the Jamaican cherry over here a bit and slide the chocolate pudding tree right in there. That'll be more than adequate. Yeah. Okay, there you go. We'll see what happens. Follow along to find out. We are running out of pots to plant things in. Look at this little starfruit tree. It's starting to want to come back. See those little baby sprouts? We recently planted bananas. They are growing very well. Look at the size of that banana pup. Now, if you've ever seen a banana pup that size, you know what that means. Bananas in your future. Okay, thanks for watching Eat Your Backyard. I hope you subscribe. I hope you turn on notifications. Maybe use the links in the description to go to Amazon. That's an easy way to support this channel. Thanks for watching Eat Your Backyard.